Hi everybody, happy Thursday. Doing a follow-up to a video I did a few weeks back, maybe a month or more now, regarding some worms that I had found in my front yard that I didn't recognize, and I posted a video. I will put a link to that, and with the help of Michael Godbold, whose channel is On the Rocks and in the Soil, they were identified as Lumbricus Rubellus. And apparently that is actually a species of earthworm, not normally a compost worm, but they act exactly like a compost worm. They live shallow, they eat shallow, and I just kept them in this little soup cup, not knowing what they were going to do, because everything I read tells me that they're a really cold species worm. I had a couple people chime in and said that they've actually owned these worms and they do well in warmer temperatures. So I kept them in this little soup cup, and they are eating and they are making castings. So today they're upgrading. This is the bottom of a rotisserie chicken container, and I just put some standard issue bedding in here. And I'm going to transfer these worms. I think there's only like 4 or 5. But I'm going to transfer them to there. But before I do, I'm going to dump them out so you can get a view and remember what they look like. I just dumped some water on them, and it looks like I may have dumped too much. So they're really interesting in color. They're actually very pretty worms. And what's very interesting about them, and the description on the web is spot on. They are a very pretty hue of blue, and the clitellum is further down the body than any other worm species, at least on this climate. They're very easily separated in identification from the Alabama jumper, or whatever your term for the invasive worms are, because the clitellum is much further back. It is not unilateral in width and shape all the way around. And the worm itself is blue or almost purple, especially on the top half, versus being gray or milky white. And if you're familiar with the invasive worms, they too are, their band is horrible color. These guys are really fast. You can see them in my hand. They are fast, and they don't have that nasty slime coat like the invasive worms do. And I don't think this guy's going to be calm enough now to go over in my hand, but the underneath has a very similar appearance to the European nightcrawler, where the band flattens out and the color is different, and that is also not true with the invasive worm. So all right, little guy, you get to go move into a new house, and they don't like light, and I'm pretty sure this critter's going to go down right fast. They're actually really pretty. I think they're really pretty, and I'm hoping that I can, hopefully that I have found another type of worm that I can explore the castings of. Going to see, what they can do. Living in a soup cup is not going to be their ideal conditions, and this may not be either, but it's certainly going to be closer, because I put castings and just my typical bedding mix. Or you can see left here is this little tail. Whoop, there it goes. So there are a few more, and these castings were made by, well, most of them were made by the worms. When I put them in the soup cup, I did take a couple, hey dogs, I did take a couple of pinches of castings from my other worms and put them in here so they would have not a sterile environment. Now this is a banana stem, and I had cut off a length of banana. So they're eating. That's a good thing. Not a banana stem, a banana peel. So that's a good thing. See another one there beginning to go up the side. Come here, little buddy. And their tail end is different too than the invasive worm. If you're familiar with the invasive worms, I mean, everything about these in color and shape and size is different, but especially their tail. On the invasive worm, their tail is almost scoop-shaped like the Canadian nightcrawler is. But look at that beautiful color. You see the band? The band is red. If you look at the color of any invasive worm during any segment, not segment, that's not the right word, whatever the word is, any stage of their life, it is milky, creamy white. It never changes, and it doesn't swell during when it reaches maturity. It's the same thickness all the time. It is the same width all the way around, and the same raised. It's raised off the body the same amount, equally, top, bottom, all the way around. So they're really easy to identify. I do have a video in my playlist that shows them and how to identify them. So let's see, there are a few more in here. And I grabbed a couple of other worms that I found out back that I thought they were the same. I didn't have, yeah, this is the same. Again, you see the band halfway down the body. Look at the beautiful color of this worm, though. So that's going to be 3. Now, I don't know if this is just a younger one or what. Definitely, yeah, I think it is the same thing because it came from the same area. Now, I don't see the band at all. I can tell by the movement that it is. Okay. Yep. Wow, they're speedy little devils. Okay, so that's number 4 to go in here. Let's see what else we have here. This would be number 5. This is, again, this is a smaller one. In he goes. This is number 6. I think this is the biggest one I found. This is nice and dark. Very pretty worms. The band has some castings. Wow, they're very sensitive, huh? He touches my hand and is freaking out. Okay, so that would be number 6. I'm pretty sure that's all I have. Wait, maybe not. Hey, Gizmo, you're okay, girl. Here's the 7th. I love that coloring on the head end. Absolutely love it. Very pretty. Okay, so that would be 7. Let's just look in here because this is what they've been living in. I don't know very much about these. Very little, actually. I was able to identify them, fortunately, with the help of Michael. And after I identified them, I said, well, let me just see if they're going to stay alive in the house in these temperatures. And in fact, they did. I was looking to see if, miraculously, there was any cocoons or babies in this material, but I don't see anything like that. I poured a bunch of water on it last night because it really dried out. Yeah, I don't see anything that would be an indicator that they were breeding, but I will tell you that this material was not broken down like this. Oh, there's a little millipede in here. Oh, he can go along for the trip too. They're very good for worm bins. So we have 7 Lumbricus Rubellus in a rotisserie chicken container. Now, I have not had that little soup cup there. Let's check the bottom to make sure there's not any more in there. I have not had this covered, so, and they haven't climbed out, so I don't think they're climbers. Not worried about putting the cover on it. I don't see anything. I will scrape it out after, and I don't see any cocoons. I don't know how old these worms are. I can tell you they've grown quite a bit in the 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe it's been a month now that I've had them. Now that looks like a cocoon, does it not? Right there? That is a cocoon. Let me pause this and I found a cocoon. Look. Awesome. And I'm certain this was not from the castings that I added. I am positive. So that doesn't mean that they were breeding in here, because worms take, actually it probably means they weren't, because, I'm sorry, it takes quite a long time for them to actually shed the cocoon after they've mated. So one of the worms must have already mated and was forming a cocoon. But I'm going to put it in here. And there it is. And I'm going to just cover it up. Put this banana peel aside. And I'm not going to worry about digging through all the rest of this to see if there's any more cocoons, because I'm going to add it in. This is what their bacteria has populated. So, I mean, it's what they've been living in thus far. So I'm going to, is that another one? No, that's not. I'm going to add this in. But that's all. I just wanted to show you that those worms, Lumbricus Rubellus, you can look up information about them. And I have heard from others who are keeping them successfully as composting worms. So I have only 7. I have seen more outside. I don't want to go crazy and start bringing them in case they don't work out. And I don't want to kill the worms that are doing a good job outside. But I now know where they are and what they are. And in the event that they turn out to be awesome compost worms, I know where to get more. All right, well, I hope this video was enjoyable to you. If it was, please give it a like and a share, comment if you have any, and have a great day.